Hi, everyone, and welcome tonight to the Healer's Journey. Tonight we're working with animals again, still. If you're following the Healer's Journey, then you know our last few episodes we've been talking about working with animals, and mostly in the capacity of physical, emotional, spiritual. We're getting into something a little deeper tonight with healing trauma, pain, injury, and disease. And of course, whenever I put these out here, I'm feeling it already. I'm feeling it in my heart, and nobody wants to see an animal suffer. Nobody wants their animal to get sick or injured, and yet these things do happen. So how do we as healers recognize the signs, first of all, that there is some trauma or pain or injury or even disease? How do we recognize these signs? And then what are some possibilities of addressing it and dealing with it? So mostly we're going to be talking about the signs today. And this is based on my experience in working with animals. Here's my book, Heal Together, Natural Health Solutions for Animals and Their Humans, that I published about 1.5 years ago, and it is available on Amazon. But in that book, we do talk about some of the signs. So I wanted to ask you tonight, how do animals express trauma? How do animals express pain, injury, or disease? How are they showing it? Or maybe they're not showing it until they're kind of pushed to the edge, or well, you'll see what I mean. Animals are actually very good at hiding things. Case in point, our Gracie. Let me see if I can, no, I guess I put my picture of me and Gracie at the end. But case in point, Gracie. Gracie had hurt herself by jumping into the car. We had taken great precautions in making sure she didn't jump out of the car because we didn't want her to impact her shoulders. We didn't want her to hurt her spine. And we made sure she didn't jump down out of the car. We always picked her down. We just kind of grabbed hold of her, and I hope our back held out, and we carried this 80-pound dog down to the pavement so she wouldn't injure herself. And then one day, jumping into the car, she hurt herself. It was a loud yelp, and she crawled into the front seat and squished herself onto the passenger floor area. So she didn't tell me what was going on, but later on she was okay. She didn't show anything. Really, we were fine. Nothing was going on until I took her to the vet. About a month later, I took her to the vet for her regular checkup, her yearly checkup, and all of a sudden she's lifting her hind leg like it's injured. Now, she didn't show me that when we were between having the injury happen and going to the vet. She wasn't showing me anything. She wasn't showing that there was an injury, and yet she's picking up her foot at the vet. What is that all about, right? So how did she express her injury? She didn't. She hid it as much as possible. I can only imagine how much it bothered her or hurt her, but we understood after the vet examined her that she actually had a torn or a partially torn ligament in her knee. So we knew what to do with it then, and we worked on it, and now she's fine. So when I ask you, how do animals express trauma, pain, injury, and disease, you really have to be aware that they will hide it. That's their natural instinct, to hide it. Let's go a little bit deeper. How do we recognize the signs? Now, do you ever notice that if an animal is older, I will just say, 8, 9, 10, 11, those are older numbers, that it's automatic that people assume that old age means that an animal looks old or behaves in an old way or has some diseases associated with old age, like arthritis or coarse fur or cataracts or, things like that. In other words, is it assumed that if an animal is old, that they should have old age symptoms? So I'm just posing that question to you right now. We're going to come back to that. And what about the behavior? What about an older animal laying around sleeping all the time? Is it automatically assumed that that's what old animals do, therefore laying around sleeping is okay for an old animal? Things to think about. What about willingness to interact and play? Might it be that if an animal is tired all the time or is unwilling to interact and play, they're not old. There's something going on. Because it is my firm belief that age is just a number. We don't have to accept old age symptoms. We don't have to say that, oh, my dog is old or my cat is old, therefore they're going to sleep a lot, therefore they're not going to feel that good, they're going to have arthritis, they're going to have, allergies, stomach issues, fur loss, whatever it might be, because they are old. And if you think that way right now, I would like you to get that right out of your mind. That is an assumption based on cultural expectations and current recommended diets and current ways in which we interact with our animals. I would like to propose instead that good health can last many, many years. That old age, according to veterinary resources, does not begin around age 6 or 7. They're calling my Gracie at 9.5 a senior, and they said, oh no, she was a senior at 7. And I'm going, what? Are you serious? No, not this dog. She is not showing any signs of being senior in any way. So I, of course, would respect if she said she's tired, but she's not going that direction. She is showing a lot of energy. She is not showing any signs of arthritis. She's not showing any signs of debilitation, allergies, infections, fur loss. She's not showing any signs of discontent or unwillingness to interact. In fact, she's always poking me in the ribs, telling me it's time to play. So I would like to say then, be open to recognizing the signs that there's something going on. Now, the signs might point to something serious, or they might not. So we're just going to talk about some of these signs and what they might be. Now, here's an animal, a picture if you're watching online. Here's an animal looking out the window, waiting for the human to come home. Might there be separation anxiety? Might there be trauma that has indicated that an animal cannot be left alone because they feel so insecure? Or what about the animal who is around people but is sticking like glue to their legs? Can't be in a different room, has to be right up against you. I've seen this with some animals that they feel insecure not being close to their people. They are not self-soothing. There has been some trauma, perhaps. And through understanding, through perhaps behavior modification or communication, animal communication, there can be some release of this trauma, getting to the core of why this might be the case, that perhaps there was abuse, perhaps there was negligence, or just being separated from the litter too soon. There are so many reasons that trauma can exist, and that this anxiety, especially separation anxiety, can exist in animals. So we just want to be aware of the signs, and we're not diagnosing anything. We're just noticing what is going on. And of course, in observing and talking to the owners, or if you are the owner, just kind of make some notes about what is going on and what the possibilities might be. Pain. Now, with some animals, pain is, like with Gracie, she hid her pain. She didn't want to reveal that for whatever reason she has. I'm still working on that one as to why she doesn't reveal her pain. But for many animals, it's instinctive that if they showed pain or weakness or illness, then they would be put out of the pack. They might be killed. As a weakness in pack animals, you don't want the weak or the ill around. Anyway, pain. We'll get back to pain. With pain in animals, I see this sometimes, especially with very serious cases of illness, especially cancer. An animal will hide. They'll hide behind the furniture. They'll go off in a different room to sleep. They're in pain, perhaps, and they can't sleep. They can't get comfortable. They may limp, but they may not be expressing that they have pain. And so pain is a big indicator of something that may be going on. You just want to be aware that there may be something. And of course, if there is something, you can massage your pet to see if you're getting any tightness or response. You can, and I always recommend you have physical contact with your animal. This massage and petting is one of the best ways of getting to know what is going on with your animal. You know more about your animal than any vet would know. You know what their habits are. You know what their behavior is, how they're feeling, how they're eating. And this information is extremely important when you are working with your vet. So get down on the floor with your animal, massage your animal, feel around for lumps and bumps, see if there's anything going on, any swelling, any stiffness, any indicator that there might be pain. Here's Gracie after she had her left knee injury. The tape measure's on the floor because we were measuring her body length for getting her fitted for a leg brace. The injury that she had it was recommended to us that she have surgery, and I'm not a big proponent of surgery unless it's life-threatening, absolutely necessary, that kind of thing. I did research on the kind of surgery that they wanted to do, and it didn't sound right to me. It sounded very invasive, that bone was going to be cut and metal was going to be put in, and it just seemed counterintuitive to me. And so we had Gracie fitted with a brace, and that made all the difference, all the healing work we could do, natural healing as healers when we are working with animals. We're doing cold laser, we're doing supplements, we're doing tuning forks and essential oils and energy work, Reiki. We're doing all of it, and it all made a huge difference. But the brace that she wore on her leg for a long time really allowed her body the time it needed to heal. And so if you are working with an animal who is injured, you want to honor their space, of course. You want to support them in their injury and find the healing modalities that work well with your animal. It isn't always surgery. It isn't always something medical. It could be rest. It could be support. It could be supplements and some of the other energy tools that I mentioned. Disease. Signs of disease are kind of tricky because when animals reveal that they are very sick, usually it's very far along. And by disease, I'm usually referring to something as serious as cancer. And cancer isn't the only thing, of course, but you can bet that the signs have been there all along before the big diagnosis. Signs like infections, bad breath, stinky fur, weeping eyes, fur loss, weight loss, lumps and bumps, all of these that may be considered, once again, normal for a dog's age, or just normal for being a dog. People associate, I guess, being a dog with smelling like a dog. It's not my opinion that a dog should smell doggy. A dog should smell clean and healthy. And if a dog smells doggy, there's something going on. You may want to reevaluate diet or reevaluate the environment. What's going on in the environment? Are there toxins in the environment? Are you using topical flea treatments? Are you over-vaccinating? Are there situations where you think you are doing the best for your dog, which is always what we do, but is it too much for your dog? So these are all things to question. So when an animal becomes showing the symptoms of trauma, illness, disease, injury, pain, when your dog or your cat is showing these signs, then there may be something bigger coming up ahead. Excuse me, something bigger coming up where they may be heading toward a crisis. Now, I have here as next steps that we'll be talking about the healing crisis, and this is different from the health crisis. I'll just give you a little preview right now. The health crisis is the diagnosis. You're in a situation where something is wrong. There's aggression, there's arthritis, there's infections, there's something going on that is a health crisis. The healing crisis is something that people and animals go through when they are in the process of healing. And I'd like to just give you a preview of that and let you know it can be difficult for some people, for some animals, but it is often just a part of getting better. So I'm going to leave you with that. It's a very short webinar tonight, which is okay, of course, and I would like to invite you to learn more. Healing is a process that includes many natural modalities. As healers on the healer's journey, we have many tools available to us. Some of my favorites include Reiki, of course, and in this picture, this is Ginger, by the way, as she's approaching age 14. She's wearing an amethyst and a rose quartz. She's also got a magnetic collar on. You can tell that we did a lot of things for her that helped to support her after she had that surgery that I talked about on another webinar. She was given an expiration date that was too fast for us. And we said, no, thank you, and we worked on her healing. So it was touch and go for a while. There were times when we thought we were not going in the right direction, and it turns out that we were. So again, some of my favorite healing modalities: Reiki, detoxification, supplements, very specific supplements that support the particular need that the animal has. I like tuning forks. I like far infrared lights. I like magnets. I like cold laser. I like healing touch. massage, acupuncture. I like all of those things because they are all non-invasive, they are all gentle, they all work. And a combination, you'll find the right combination that you like, that you can use in working with animals. As I always ask, where will your path lead you? Here you are as a healer on the healer's journey. Many of you have joined us for a Reiki class. Many of you are using essential oils and beginning to understand there is a bigger picture, that you would like to develop your intuitive skills, especially when working with animals. They don't necessarily tell you what's going on. And it is possible to be intuitive and listen and see and learn and get out of your head so that you can accomplish this. I would love to see you on that path. I would love to see that animals are leading the way for you and walking beside you. Again, here's my book, Heal Together, Natural Health Solutions for Animals and Their Humans. And next time we'll be talking about the healing crisis. That's me and my Gracie, who is one of my greatest fans, and I'm a fan of hers as she accompanies me on all my Reiki appointments, apparently. She likes to be there in the room. Best way to reach me is through my website, secondnaturehealing.com, or my doggy website, naturalpethealthalternatives.com. You can certainly email me, Rosemary at secondnaturehealing.com. And I will be doing an aromatherapy for animals workshop. Let's see, today's Monday, it's Tuesday, May 9, at a business near me called Massage and Spa at Bethany. I will be doing that on Tuesday, May 9 at 6:30 at Massage and Spa at Bethany. But of course, if you have any questions about aromatherapy for animals, let's talk about it. I have some wonderful suggestions for you. If you are not on the Healer's Journey webinar, you can certainly go to my website and register. Just find it on the webinar page and sign in. You'll get all of the follow-up messages that we have done. This is webinar number 23, and I thank you very much for being here.